and my reviews over the years, you will notice I have a wide variety of music that I've loved, some I hated, but some of the ones have a particular meaning to me, you know what I'm saying? So with this couple of videos, I'm going to be counting down my top game-changing albums. Now keep in mind, this is not my top albums of all time, more like top game-changing albums, the album that had an influence on me. Some of them you're going to be surprised, some of them you might be expected to see. So at the same time, here's to further ado, let's get this shit started. We're back. All right, it's the last part, y'all. This is the last part. I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do both episodes at once because by the time of the recording of this video, I took a huge break doing this shit because I was just busy with a lot of bullshit, DJ gigs, all that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know what? Let me knock all this shit out so I can drop this hopefully by the end of 2025 and everything. I just got to do a lot of editing and stuff like that too. So let's get to it. So my number 41, Metallica with their third album, Master of Puppets. This came out March 3rd, 1986. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this might be my favorite Metallica album and stuff like that too. I even go back between Ride the Lightning and this album, but I gotta say this album was just their darkest album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was just a masterpiece. The last album with the late great Cliff Burton and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and when it came to this album, you have some of the most complex arrangements Metallica has ever done and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes they would just have like up tempo section and then go downbeat and everything like that too. I feel like this might be vocally James Hetfield's best album vocally. And I love James Hetfield, but the '90s after Black Album vocally, I don't know. It's just he does this weird thing with his voice. If you guys know, you know, and stuff like that too. But this album, he was just like, oh, like scary good and everything like that too. And I always say, Ride the Lightning was like the band's most literary album, just from the influence they took over a lot of a lot of literature and stuff like that too. But this album was just heavy and it was just raw and dirty. And 1986 was such a great year when it came to thrash metal because you had albums like Megadeth's Peace Sells, which that might be my second favorite Megadeth album next to Rust in Peace. Then you had Anthrax, Among the Living, and shit like that. But with this album, this was the album that pretty much took Metallica to a whole nother level and stuff like that too. They were still kind of underground, you know what I'm saying? Technically, the only single that they came out with was the title track and everything like that too. But I do love songs like Disposable Heroes and The Thing That Should Not Be. My favorite track is the instrumental over Orion and everything, which possibly is like Cliff Burton's swan song, if you ask me. You know, Cliff Burton be the bassist of the group. You know, tragic way he passed away when the tour bus crashed and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that whole track, especially that bridge when it just goes that doom 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 that. I mean, like it was just groundbreaking, such a groundbreaking experiment and stuff like that too, which I definitely fuck with and shit. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a favorite of mine and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Metallica's best album, period. Moving on, we got Al Green with his greatest hits album from 1975. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Why did I pick a greatest hits album and stuff like that too? Why did I go with this album when it came to Al Green. I could have easily picked any of his albums from Call Me to Let's Stay Together, I'm Still in Love with You, Living for You, Al Green Explores Your Mind. I could have easily picked those albums, but honestly, when I think of Al Green, and even though those albums are classics, and the Call Me album is my favorite, whenever I think of Al Green, I just think of Homecoming. I think of Soul and the greatest hits. This might be one of the best greatest hits album in the music history, if you ask me. First of all, the album cover alone is iconic and everything like that. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, and you gotta remember Al Green from 71 to 74, 75, he was on another level. Like, yeah, Marvin was dope. Barry White was smooth. Stevie was revolutionary, but Al is like the pinnacle of soul music. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember as a kid, I first heard "Let's Stay Together" and everything like that too, and I was just immediately enthralled by the fact that he told stories. Excuse me, he told stories throughout his music and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Whether times are good or you're bad, or you're happy or sad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was just really speaking. He was really speaking to me about how to treat a woman. He was speaking to me how to cherish love, spirituality, and everything like that too. And then he went from "Let's Stay Together" to "Love and Happiness." You know what I'm saying? I mean, classic track. "I Can't Get Next to You." You know what I'm saying? "Let's Get Married." Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? "Call Me, Come Back Home." I mean, this might be one of the greatest hits album ever. And I'm not really too big on greatest hits albums because sometimes there's certain songs that motherfuckers I might be biased against and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? But if you had to have one greatest hits album in your collection, make it be this one. From the 36 Chambers is the number 43 album. Wu Tang Clan, Enter the Wu Tang, 36 Chambers, November 9th, 1993. Man, oh my God, we are really getting into the Wu Tang and shit like that. We really get into the Wu Tang and everything. Picture yourself having 9 MCs, different personalities, and everything like that too. And pretty much coming up in there with the grittiness, the gritty soundscape of it all and everything like that too. Where they rapping about the ill wills, the environment, to fucking chess, to philosophy, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whenever I think of motherfuckers who say, "Oh well, you can't be too raw and dark and everything. You gotta have some radio airplay and everything like that too." This album, it didn't really have no radio airplay songs and shit like that. Like, it was just the songs in the 36 Chambers. The songs in 36 Chambers pretty much represented the dirtiness and the gutterness of it all. And you have not really seen a lot of MCs like this since like maybe the Cold Crush Brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I loved about this album was just the fact that they didn't give no fucks when it came to this album. Like, shame on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? To the mystery of chess boxing. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Cash rules everything around me. Even the title track, bring the motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. I mean, what a great way to start off that whole fucking album and shit. You know what I'm saying? Protect Your Neck. If I had to pick one gripe with that song, I wish the bloody version was on this track and everything, like on this album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just the personality alone, and then RZA with the production. Like, this is like my favorite era of RZA. Like, oh my God. And he really laid the blueprint for that East Coast Renaissance kind of sound and everything like that too. Like RZA, Primo, you know what I'm saying? I would even throw in Q-Tip as well too. Havoc from Mobb Deep. Well, I feel like Havoc definitely was definitely influenced by RZA, especially when it came to like albums like Infamous and Hell on Earth and shit like that too. Stay tuned and shit, you know what I'm saying? But definitely a classic album. All right, so number 40, we got Ice Cube with America's Most Wanted. You know what I'm saying? His first solo album and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, I could have easily picked any album from Ice Cube's first four and stuff like that. I was so close to picking Death Certificate, but I was like, you know what? Let me go to 1990 with this one and everything like that too, because the story with this album is just crazy. Like I said, so this album he came out with literally a year after he left NWA, and pretty much, originally he was supposed to have had the people who were originally supposed to be on this album. Like Dre was supposed to produce this album, but we all know Jerry Heller vetoed that. And then, originally he was supposed to have production from like EPMD, and then cats like EPMD, and then he was even eyeing the cats from Third Base and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? But then he settled with the Bomb Squad and Sir Jinx, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? And this was definitely around a time when, because Q was a West Coast rapper, and then the Bomb Squad was really like the production group at that time where they utilized hella samples and everything. Like they had their own wall of sound of samples and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I always loved about America's Most Wanted was its unfiltered look on Black America at the time and everything like that too. Like, I mean, the song that the nigga you love to hate was just groundbreaking, everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And then you have something like Once Upon a Time in the Projects, yo, I damn near had a wreck a hoe. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then you have Gangsta Fairy Tale. I love that record. Who's the Mac? Rolling with the Lynch Mob and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole album very much, birthed Ice Cube as a solo force and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Curl Cube was just a menace to society, man. I mean, a lot of shit that he was talking about and preaching in his lyrics and shit like that. I just have to look back and say he made a damn good album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he pretty much opened the eyes to the hypocrisy of America and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a classic, game-changing album. All right, next we got Mobb Deep with Hell on Earth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, classic album. This is the third album from Mobb Deep. My favorite album from them as well too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keep in mind this is the only album that is primarily produced by Havoc and everything like that too. Because I'll even say Prodigy even lent us in on production as well too. You know what I'm saying? So this whole album was released during the time of their East Coast, West Coast when they were beefing with hella cats from Pac to Keith Murray and so on and shit like that. And Havoc pretty much birthed this whole fucking um atmospheric atmospheric 808s laden production that just had interesting loops and stuff like that. Because when it comes to Infamous and everything like that too, you did kind of have the atmospheric vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was still gutter. This whole album sounds like something you would see from Scarface or some Goodfellas kind of shit and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? Part of me wants to even say this kind of had like a mafioso feel on certain songs and shit. Extortion with Method Man. Oh my god. He definitely went in on that song. Like the way they flipped that Jackson 5 sample was just crazy. Um Fucking More Trife Life, which was the continuation of the song Trife Life from Infamous. And then you have God Part 3, Hell on Earth. Give It Up Fast with Nori and Nas was hot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Drop a Gem on them was fire. One of the best diss tracks in hip hop history. I'm a Pac fan. I love Pac, but I gotta be real with you. Definitely, they definitely went in on Pac that track. I know we want to say, oh well, a lot of them lines were subliminal and everything like that too. But that's the thing about it. They didn't treat their audiences like dirt, like stupid motherfuckers and shit like that too. And then hell, Man Down, which also threw some shots at Def Squad and even threw some shots at Pac too. Not a lot of people know that one. You know what I'm saying? And then if you get the CD version, I mean, you have this on in the long run, where they definitely ate Keith Murray, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a very dope album. Prodigy sounded angry as fuck with this album and shit like that. So fucking fire. Love this masterpiece. All right, so next we got Exodus by Bob Marley and the Wailers, the ninth album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this album to me is actually my favorite album from Bob Marley. Maybe the greatest reggae album among the greatest reggae albums of all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you gotta remember this album came out months after he got shot and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And he moved to London. He moved to London and he pretty much had a more laid back production with this album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this album was fucking fire and everything. A lot of people say that he sold out with this album and the Kaya album because of the laid back production and the fact that he wasn't as political like that. But I disagree. I feel like this album was Bob Marley experimenting and shit like that too. Because I love Bob Marley, but you can't keep making a Natty Dread or a Catch a Fire 2 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, he had family and stuff like that. He was just experimenting with spirituality and everything. You know, songs like Exodus, Waiting in Vain. Oh my, Waiting in Vain. I don't want to wait in vain. But oh my god, my dad used to always play that record. The whole side two, the second half of the album is just beautiful. Turn Your Lights Down Low, Three Little Birds, jamming, and everything like that too. We're jamming, jamming, jamming. I wanna jam with you. I mean, this whole album is just fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful record and everything like that too, you know. And he definitely did his A game with this one and everything like that too. So that's my number 46. Number 47, we got Talking Heads with Speaking in Tongues and everything like that too. Just came out June 1st, 1983. Man, 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 man. You know, I know a lot of people say Remaining Light, that's the best album, which I love Remaining Light, but to me, I love the funkiness of Speaking in Tongues. This is the album I feel like they were influenced by Prince, like the Minneapolis sound of Prince and everything. They were very influenced by that when they did this record. And it is very evident because if you listen to Remaining Light, you can tell that album definitely was like a very Afrobeat, P-Funk, funky album and everything like that too. But then this album, the way how they use their synths and everything was just very dope. It definitely had like a Minneapolis sound feel to it. Don't Believe Me got the song. Hold on, this is the first track on the album. Well, that's the second track, Making Flippy Floppy, and everything like that too. That whole fucking sin like dee dee dee. That is very a Prince esque, very times feel. Girlfriend is Better. Love that record. Slippery People. And you know what's dope about this record? You know what the thing that's dope about this album was the fact that it only came out with two singles, "Burning Down the the main two singles, "Burning Down the House" and "This Must Be the Place," and everything like that too. And they don't sound like nothing. They don't sound like nothing from the album. Like "Burning Down the House" pretty much was like a more song that might have been accustomed to like the first the Remaining Light album and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? With a little bit of new wave new wave in it and shit. And ironically, they pretty much got the influence from that track, the title, after seeing P Funk in the Madison Square Garden and stuff like that too. And I think it was like George Clinton who kept saying "burn down the house," and he had the whole audience chanting and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? But then you have the beautiful "This Must Be the Place." Da, 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 da. I love that record. Oh my god, I love that record. I mean, it is such a beautiful song. You know what I'm saying? It's such a beautiful song, and David Byrne singing on that record was just so immaculate and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, I actually love the "Stop Making Sense" version a bit more, which I know I have to talk about that movie and album. I definitely have to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming. Don't get me wrong, it's coming. But yeah, man, definitely a must-have when you have to listen to it. You know, classic. Alrighty, shit. Where do I begin with this next album? Number 48, Bobby Brown. Don't Be Cruel. His second album. A lot of people think this is his first album, his first solo album. No, 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 no. King of Stage was his first solo album and shit. Which that album was decent. You know what I'm saying? But this album definitely took it to a whole nother level and shit. You know what I'm saying? Released in 1988, this was the album that really solidified him as the bad boy of R&B and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, songs like fucking My Prerogative. You know what I'm saying? First of all, as a kid listening, I was like, what the fuck is a prerogative? And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then Don't Be Cruel. I love the video of that track. The video was definitely dope. Every Little Step, that was another dope record right there and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it comes to Every Little Step, I actually like the video version a bit better, especially when he was rapping and stuff like that too. Again, Bobby, New Edition pretty much bridged the gap between hip hop and R&B. Now a lot of people give them that credit and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I Really Love You Girl, Take It Slow and everything. But my favorite track, Roni. The truth about a Roni. Still the little girl. I mean, fucking fire ass song. And then he has some of the best producers at the time, from Babyface to L.A. Reid to Teddy Riley, Larry Wright, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he definitely went in. He definitely went in on this one, shit like that. So this is definitely a favorite album when it comes to Bobby and shit like that. Fire. All right. So next you know we got is Brand Nubian with their first album, One for All for One, and One for All. I mean, I kind of surprised myself by putting this. So this was, I'm not gonna hold you. A lot of these picks in this episode was kind of last minute picks because I originally wanted to do 30 hours, but I'm just like, nah, I'm forgot about this. I didn't want to make at least two hip hop or two R&B. I want to show definitely some diversity when it comes to the genres and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And with this album right here with Brand Nubian and shit like that, too, you know what I'm saying? Um, this album definitely took it to a whole nother level when it came to like how they represent themselves and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely felt like this album definitely represented the golden age of hip hop more than a lot of albums released that year and everything like that too. And one of the songs I love is Slow Down. You know, to me, the best hip hop song with a danceable beat, but the message there's a message to it. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell it's a perfect Grand Brand Nubian song when you have fucking Sadat starting it off, Lord Jamar being the calm before the storm, and then Grand Pooba just comes out like the fucking maestro that he is and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? You got the Off One track. I love that one. You know, that's this is one song. Fucking Dance to My Ministry. One of Lord Jamar's best moments on that track. Wake Up, classic track. You know what I'm saying? But I like the version. I like the version with the Roy Ayers sample and stuff like that too. You know, I love that the way how they sped it up and everything. Very, very, very dope and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole album was just a perfect album at that time. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I even remember like growing up. I wasn't one of the biggest Brand Nubian fan growing up, but then over the years, especially when I got more into hip hop, I definitely understood why this group was very important when it came to hip hop and everything. I remember when I saw them live too, um, years ago and shit like that. It was definitely a dope experience and everything like that too. Yeah, I actually took a picture with both the Jamar and Sadat X legends and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And the last album, number 50, and no pun intended. I got 50 Cent with Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah, this album came out. This album came out pretty much during the time when hip hop was definitely going through. Hip hop was definitely going through. I guess an identity crisis. I guess 2003 was actually a dope year for hip hop. I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of albums came out that time, and that was fire. And this album was no exception. First things first, you know, 50 Cent definitely did his thing, you know, with the whole mixtape. G Unit, 50 Cent definitely did their whole mixtape circuit and everything like that too. And originally, if you want to be technical, this was supposed to have been his second album, but we all know what happened because you know Power of the Dollar was supposed to come out in 2000, but he ended up getting shot. Columbia dropped him. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much blackballed and everything like that too, and everything. And then this whole album pretty much came out bootleg. It was highly anticipated too, and everything. I mean, I remember when I first heard it in the club and shit like that, and that beat. Mind you, I was like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old when that song came out, and pretty much, it got a motherfucker wanted me to go to a club and experience that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the song that I really fucked with was "Many Men Wish Death Upon Me." That was actually my favorite song, and ironically, 50 Cent does not even like that song and everything like that, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? 21 Question with Nate Dogg was fire. If I can't. One of my favorite Dre beats he's ever done for 50 and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole album definitely represented New York at the time and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like on the other side you have Dipset doing their thing, and then this side you have 50 Cent giving that raw, glamorized exposure to like gangster rap and everything like that too. And I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like it's a game changing album. A lot of motherfuckers try to do their own Get Rich or Die Trying and everything like that too. So yeah, man. And that's all the albums. Thank y'all so much for watching this series and everything like that too. I'm gonna definitely try to do some more kind of episodes like this. You never know what I got in store. But y'all make sure y'all subscribe and follow this channel. Peace.